Okay, you guys can hear me? Okay, I can hear you guys clearer. So, in the count of three, we'll start this off. One, two, three. Hey, off-road Ontario Racer is here with Joel and Andrew from the VooDoo Ranch. I wasn't able to make it up there for a preview this week. Unfortunately, my schedules didn't work out. So, what we're going to do today is have a little discussion with the track builders themselves, right here, the organizers, the promoters, and we are also going to reference Andrew's 2024 preview video. He previewed the three tests then. And the boys are going to tell you what has changed since 2024. So, what's new in 2025? And you're going to know what to expect when you get to VooDoo next week. So, I'll stop talking right now. But anyhow, lads, what's new for 2025? I'll let you guys both introduce yourselves as well.
Yeah, so I'm Joel Castonguay.
Andrew D. I work on the trail out here. We got Joel's the property owner, and we built the course up and work on it every year.
Perfect. Awesome. So, what do you have new for 2025 for us?
Yeah, I think the biggest change is the addition of a small motocross track that used to be just flat track. So we're really excited about that. It's entry-level motocross, so it's designed for everyone, every skill level. So you can roll everything. It's nothing really dangerous. This track was brought to us through some funding with Yamaha Canada. That's through our local OFTR club, Sudbury Trail Adventure Riders Association. We were able to get some grant money and build that this spring. So that would be our first Enduro usage. So we're really excited.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's good news that Yamaha pitched in for that. Love to hear it. So you've got the track, the motocross track, and what did it replace? A flat track or something from previous years?
Yeah, it was just something I built really with a tiller and a trapper years ago. It was just flat dirt track. And you get to use all your fourth, fifth gear ISP stuff, but really not too much technical stuff. So it's just filling the void a little bit, adding cable tops. Some nice leads.
Fantastic. What about the Enduro Cross course? Anything new there this year?
The Enduro Cross course, some of it was deteriorating quite a bit, so we weren't able to replace it all. So we cut out a small section of the Enduro Cross track. We cut in a new little wood part off to the side of it just to keep the length about the same. And the some of the Enduro Cross, we still have the big logs you go over and everything. The grass track leading up to it's pretty well the same.
Awesome, fantastic. Now, for a guy like me, I'm not afraid to say this. I lack talent. So when it comes to an enduro, I'm just a grip it and rip it guy. So anyhow, when it comes to enduro cross, is there a few chicken lines over the bigger obstacles for the guys to bail out if they need to?
Yeah. We have a chicken line in. I think we're gonna keep that the same as last year. Yeah. So yeah, it's a way around. We make it longer and tough in its own way. It's a bit of a pain because the switchback corners and everything. But if you don't feel like going over the logs or the rocks, there's always a way around.
Fantastic. I love chicken lines. All right. So, how about test number one? Anything different from last year?
So you hear Chris still one. Yeah, and then it goes across into the motocross track. So looks like we're gonna be able to keep the jump over the creek that we had last year, the high water. We weren't sure for a while, but Joel's been paddling beavers and making sure the water came down. So we got that done. So yeah, the test one is the one that's gonna change the most of part of the Enduro Cross being out and across the little motocross.
Okay. All right.
And there's a chicken line for the creek jump as well, just for the riders.
Last year you take a bridge across the creek.
Okay, amazing, amazing. And then when you get into test one, anything else different through the trail systems there? Add or lose anything?
So yeah, test one they said.
Oh, enduro, sorry. So test two then?
F2 is virtually identical. We haven't really changed it much. It's been there for a while. It's beating good. It doesn't need much work. So lucky we didn't have to work on it too much. And then
We did add a new bridge. So last year at the race, we did race one of the bridges at Expire, I guess, if you will. So they have a great new bridge that was built there. So confidence for the race with those bridges. The other one, straight two bridges, a bit easier. Again, we're already fucked, so we're tired.
Amazing. Okay, and just because I've been watching some of your social media posts, is one of those bridges the waterway that you guys were floating logs down and building?
So that one's on test 3. And again, with the high water this year, all the rain, they did such a good job, a couple local volunteers building that last year. And we thought it'd be there for years. And the water came up so high, the logs started floating downstream. So it brought the logs up. Tell me. Yeah, that one was the one you saw in the one video there where you laid some new logs. You have to base it up.
This afternoon, I said we could, yeah, we'll be putting some solid wood across it also. It won't be a concern. So we 3 new bridges for it.
Fantastic. Well, that's incredible. Anything else in test 3 that you want to discuss that's changed besides the bridge?
So in test 3, a lot of it just minor fixes in there. Again, I was worried about the water coming out in some muddier sections. So all those I wiped up the lines. We wiped up the lines. And changed some of the corners a little bit because we're going to be running it backwards the next day for the cross country. So just try to make it a little better, rounded entry and exits, and just found some different ways around stuff. So more options for lines, doing the 2 days in a row. We're worried about, things getting beat in. So we wanted to open up, makes more opportunities. The lines, things get more.
Oh, that's awesome. So when you're opening things up for more lines, you're trying to reduce the bottlenecking, which all of us appreciate. So you're opening up like around hill climbs and big mud bogs and stuff like that?
Yeah, exactly. Hill climbs and mud bogs. And then even a lot of the sections that grew into the single track real nice, we just widened out. So a lot of it's wide enough to get an ATV down. So you can, race side by side.
Absolutely love it. I love it. There's nothing worse than a big bottleneck and everybody coming to a halt for a while. So you guys got the flow created. That's amazing. Since we're talking about the courses right now, I'm just going to try to get an idea off you guys about course sizes. I know I get these questions a lot from the mini, the Pee-wee, and also from the riders themselves. So let's start with the wee ones there, the Pee-wee track. How big would the Pee-wee track be by estimate?
Yeah, so the PT track's about, and then give or take a few, it's about 3 kilometers. So you're doing a grass track, which is it's essentially just a flat grass track. You'll come around, cross the creek on a regular crossing, and then you'll do the motocross track and then come back. And again, the motocross track, any PB bike can do it. They're all rollers. You can just slowly go up the face and come down on the other side. So it's confidence inspiring, and that's the reason we built it like that. So we're excited for the minis. I should say the PVs to use the ultra.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, what a great way to just get some experience during a race of a little beginner motocross track. It's amazing. Okay, so that was what about the minis? What do you got up for the minis that?
Well, the minis is going to be it'll be the same layout as last year. I don't have the columns in front of me, and that's these 5 or 6. See, but the same lap times as last year. So it's about, I think, 20-25 minutes. Time from Sprint Enduro. We may make some minor adjustments, but you can expect the same thing.
Fantastic. That's great. And then our test sections, we know that test number 1 is the Enduro course and the motocross course. What is test 2 and 3, say, for kilometers and time-wise?
So test 2 is about 7 kilometers. And I don't recall offhand what that times were last year.
Yeah. Last time they did. That's okay. Give you a live blast and check it out.
Yeah. It's so wide ranging, of course. Just the pros get stuff so fast, and if you don't get hung up on anything, it's not too bad. But there's P spots there. It gets pretty tricky and easy to get hung up.
Okay, well, that brings up a great question then. So for test 2, what is just a couple not concerning points but challenging points that you would bring up that you'll come across in test 2?
Well, there's that one hill for sure. What do we call that again?
Well, we used to call it Hero Hill because we just started riding it and it was trees there. Now it's just a deteriorated corner with a massive rock. Be aware that rock is there. Be careful on your pipes, but pay attention because there is 2 alternative ways to go around the corner, and that's on test 2. For the Kimpex flag, you'll see that. So
Keep your eyes open for the extra lines. We made sure there's some easier ways around, and a lot of people just eyeball the line that everybody takes, and it's by far the worst. If you take your time a little bit through there, it's a lot easier.
Awesome. Okay. Brings us over to test 3. How long do you figure test 3 is in K?
Test 3 is 6 kilometers. It feels longer than the second fastest.
it does feel really long. I remember last year challenging some pros. I had just sort of guessed how long it would take, and I think I had said if it can beat 10 minutes, I would make him a massive sandwich, and nobody beat it in here.
It was close that day.
It was, I think it was within a few seconds, but I think the fastest guy will break 10 minutes for test speed.
Fantastic. Is the sandwich still up for grabs this year then?
You get the someone get these.
Anything else you guys want to bring up about the courses?
I think that about covers it. So the water issues, maybe I'll mention that we were worried about, and that floating away and everything. Everything's dried up really nice. Like I couldn't believe, like 5 days after I made that video, flipping the logs over, I came back there and the water had dropped 2 feet. So it's looking pretty good. You're not looking at much rain this week, so it's gonna be a nice dry course. This course is way easier to strap.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully it stays that way and take it a little easier on the riders.
Fantastic. I like to hear that. Only because we just brought up sandwiches. Any food trucks or anything that's going to be at the race?
Yeah, I was excited and lucky to have Gamla or team at company. So they're the food providers for Corduroy. I think they've been here for 2 years now. So they reached out, great. They're motor minded and want to support local provincial promoters. So we're super happy to have them here in this food. They will have breakfast for those early morning meals and proteins. So we're excited to have that.
Amazing. Any caveats to that? Like, is it cash only? Can you use debit, credit?
I believe they have that. Besides from that, yeah, setting up.
Perfect. We'll have to roll a quarters and nickels then. We're good. Okay, awesome. What about just because we're talking about the facilities there, how about camping? You're all set up for camping?
Yeah, so we had acres and acres of fields. So we have ample room. We're going to send the big buses and the big campers in a wide open field and try to keep the closer space at the bottom for tents and singular vehicles. Like, people are reaching out to us looking to reserve spots. You don't need to book a reserve. Lots of room. If you run out of room, we'll put you in the middle of the MX track if we have to. So don't worry about room. Also, last year, people were asking about a place to swim. I would not encourage you to swim in this creek. I mean, it is a beaver-infested creek. However, about 10 kilometers down the road here, there's a beautiful sandy beach on the Vermilion River. Kids and parents went there last year and it came back, big reviews. So we'll give you those instructions when you get here so that you can freshen yourself up for a long day race.
Fantastic, especially with this heat that we've been having. That'll be great. Just for people that are asking, I know down south right now we've got a lot of fire bans on. Are fires going to be banned on your property or allowed?
So far, it looks like really good. A little bit of rain midweek here, maybe even Monday, Tuesday, which should help. So I haven't heard any anticipated fire bans. So I would say, though, that we don't really want fire. It's at every campsite. I'd like to see your setup first. We are using our neighbor's property. We will have a big fire Saturday night, bunch of pallets and sort of a social area with some music for people to wind down and help the fellow racers. So we'll be supplying a big fire.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I think, oh, one other question I was going to have, especially for people that haven't participated in a sprint enduro yet. Anything different with the transponders? Do you need it? Can your visor transponder be used with your system?
Yeah, it's the same technology for Saturday, Sunday. The same transponder will work at any of
Perfect. Okay. Anything else you guys like to add to this?
And they maybe just go over what the plan is for the cross country, especially people that have been here for the sprint enduro and wired how the course is going to go. So it's going to be starting on the motocross track. So you're not going to be doing the Enduro Cross and that side of the creek. So it's starting on the motocross track, doing the motocross track forward, and then going into the test 3 backwards. So you'll be doing test 3 and test 2 essentially backwards, and it'll be modified slightly to cut out some sections that would have been pretty sketchy for a lot of people to go up. We just ended up going on here, possible going up, but again, we're worried about getting roadblocks, things like that. So, it's 11.5 kilometers, looking at 20 to 45-minute lap. And if you get hung up, we take you a little longer. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. It's new one. It's clear next year if it gets widened out.
Fantastic. I'm pretty sure a lot of racers will do their best to help you with that. So one thing that I did notice, and what I said at the beginning of this was I didn't have time to preview it. But what I did do was I watched Andrew, I watched your 3 test videos, and just for the 00 racers, watch them. They're amazing. Andrew does a great job going through all the tests. He also may give a few secrets here and there on what you can look for and maybe how to circumvent a few things. So I 100% suggest you got to go check out all those videos. But Andrew, can you tell them where to find those videos?
The YouTube page, it's A Bean on YouTube, EH Bean. So you can go there, find them. Sure we can throw up a link or something to it, make it easier. And just so everyone knows, test 1's going to be a little different. Test 2 and test 3 is essentially the same. And the little tricks I give on there go a long ways. I'll also try and get, by the end of the week, I'll try and get the preview of the cross-country up on there.
Perfect. What I'll do is at the end of this is we'll tag your YouTube channel and those tests onto this, and then you can put it on your social media as well, and that'll be great. One thing I am going to say to 00 Racers, if you haven't seen Andrew's YouTube channel, highly recommend checking it out. He does some great footage. Am I going to say he's like Hollywood? I'm going to give him 3/4 the way to Hollywood right now. He's almost there. So, but the one thing you're going to see is some amazing adventures. What was the Baja adventure there, Andrew? Toronto to Baja?
Yeah, Toronto to Baja on my adventure bike. There's a little one before that earlier in the year, Euro. But yeah, rode all the way there. And you basically get done.
So, and also you did some riding with Rome, right? Everstoke?
Yeah, I do a couple trips at Rome every year with Everstokes, and they're all up there. Bunch of them not getting the most recent trip up there. And yeah, Rome's a good guy to travel with. You see some stuff.
You know, I did a trip to Colorado, Utah with Rome a couple years ago, 2022. Best trip of my life. Great time. So just another one of those members in Off-Road Ontario that has a cool backing somewhere, both you guys, you and Rome. So check out Andrew's YouTube page there, especially when you're sitting on the couch wondering if you want to get out and ride. You'll watch his videos and you'll decide to ride right after. Joel, anything else, brother, about VooDoo?
No, we're just excited for people to come. We really appreciate the people taking that extra time to travel up north. It means a lot to us as promoters, small communities up north. We want to roll race trails, so it is 2 hours extra maybe, but I think it's well worth the time to travel. and race at Ultra from VooDoo Ranch Sprint Enduro.
I like it. Well, what I can say is from the group of guys that I race with, they continuously talk about VooDoo, and some are only racing VooDoo in the cord this year. So, and that being said, for the people that are thinking of doing the cord, this is going to be one hell of a good practice before the cord. So seriously think about coming up here and getting your time up with VooDoo, because I'm going to guarantee you'll go into the cord with a lot more confidence afterwards. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time, and for all the work that you guys put in. I know the racers appreciate it, and I know that when we get to VooDoo, we're going to see all the effort you guys put in. So thank you very much for your time, guys, and looking forward to seeing you this weekend.